Hi, campaigners. Welcome to Campaign Mode,
a gaming podcast meant for marketers to better understand the industry.
We are your hosts. I'm Sammy Barnett, head of gaming at TMA.
Morgan Bridges, account supervisor at TMA.
If you have any questions, want to reach out to collab, all of our information is down below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts.
We hope you enjoy.
All right, everyone. We are back with another episode of Campaign Mode.
I'm Morgan.
She's back. I'm back. Sammy Barnett. Today we are joined by the Fortnite legend. Not only that, but just an influential person in the space. His name is Clix online.
Cody. IRL.
And then his agent, Darren Glover. You guys want to say hi? Say hi to the fans.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're so excited.
It's my first time being on a podcast that's not influencers.
Oh.
That's like
Are you
brands.
saying we're not
So
influencers?
You don't think we're influencers?
Okay, maybe I came off with it.
I'm just kidding.
Well, you guys could be influencers since you guys
one
have
day,
this podcast.
one day. No.
No, but today we're super excited about this episode because we have...
First time being on an unimportant podcast. So I'm really pumped about this. Yeah.
That sounded not how I thought of
We're
it in my
still
head.
getting bullied, but...
No, don't worry. Don't take ourselves very seriously. You're good.
No, we're influencers. But no, we're really excited. We are going to talk about, I think, in the space of gaming, creators are a very hot topic. You can use them right, and you can do a lot of good for your brand, get a lot of eyeballs there. So we also see some missteps, though, that brands kind of use them in the wrong ways, right? So we brought someone straight from the source to break down, what their experience with brands, what they're doing right, maybe what they're doing wrong, and just kind of dive in and talk about your experience
working with brands. Because a lot of times when people go to work with influencers, they don't really get to hear what you actually think about working with them. And I think it's important. So,
yeah, I think before we dive into that, though, I want to do a little bit more of an introduction so people know who you are.
Yeah.
If they've never met you before,
cool.
Or hopefully if you are watching this, you do know who he is and you've seen him online because he's huge.
Well, if you don't, I'm Clix, also known as Cody Conrad. I started playing professional Fortnite, blew up when I was 13 years old. Now I'm 20, and we have an amazing team behind us. We do still a professional Fortnite player, but I also stream and do a lot of IRL content, a lot of brands. We got Poppy, we got Feastables, we got JBL, all year partnerships. Great partners I have there, and that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Awesome. So
not the child star.
Yeah,
we have to talk about that.
I did fall when I was 13. It was pretty young, for sure.
And jumping in, I also want to say, which I think contextually makes sense for everybody, which is he wasn't always the person that worked with fun brands.
Oh,
so from a creator space, it's seeing somebody who was a big deal online but wasn't working with any brands, and then maturing and getting older and transitioning into being able to then partner with brands and have a better kind of understanding for how to work with them. So it's a cool transition of a career where it's not like he blew up and just started to work with brands.
I was never PR friendly.
Worked with no brands, and then continued to grow and scale and mature, and then now we're able to do really cool partnerships.
Which is the most important part, which I'm assuming is where you came in to play here as an agent.
Yeah, I'm the agent. Yeah.
Agent.
But I think too, when brands or people in the real world that aren't as close to gaming, they hear streamer, they hear content creator. In your words, what do you do? What is your, if you put it down, to explain to somebody, what would you say that it is that you do?
I wake up every day and my goal is to inspire people. So there's 10,000 people that just turn on my stream at all times, right? It could be from the ages of 13 to the ages of 24.
Yeah.
And no matter what I'm doing is inspiring them to be what I am, because I was once them watching, right? I used to watch literally the Fortnite streamers praying that I'm going to be them one day. And then fortunately, when I was 13, I won a big tournament. So that's what I do every day, is just inspire and compete.
I love that. Yeah. Very real. I want to make sure I get this number right, but it's not just tens of thousands of people. I did a little Google search. You have about 23 million followers across all social, everything.
Yeah. So
or is that low?
No.
I think that's spot on.
That's right.
23 million followers?
23 million
Good
total.
research.
Across Snapchat,
Across,
YouTube.
Thank you guys. I
TikTok.
actually did not know that.
Social,
There you go.
Yeah.
I only know my average viewer is because I
Good
just
thing
show
Darren
all the
knows.
time.
He
Yeah.
knows.
That's why I looked at him. I was like, he definitely knows this.
That. But no, I think that's awesome. I love that. But I think in your experience, how have you kind of transitioned him? You were just kind of touching on it, but how have you really transitioned that into more of him into more of a business.
Well, that's what like one of the first conversations we had together, which was like, you have all this viewership and all these people that watch you. Like, so what? Like, what are you doing with it? Like, you've got a control over so many kids that are watching you for inspiration, whether they're escaping life because they hate it and you're providing them entertainment. Like, there's this community of people that get to watch them every day. Brands want access to that. So if you can foster this awesome community, you just have to figure out how to work with these brands in a way that feels good to you. Because his whole thing was, well, I don't want to be a sellout.
Yeah.
And every time I get these brand deals, it's a slap in a logo here and I got to be corny and I got to do all this other stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, yes. However, there are other ways to work with brands where you can still be yourself. You obviously have to appease the brand for the product or the service or whatever it might be. But being able to transition your mindset into being like, oh, they want my advice and opinion of like, we want you to give us feedback for what we should do. And like the second he started to change that, these brands were really excited to work with them because now it's like, we want to know what you want to do, not necessarily what we want you to do.
I used to hate that when they just come to me when I was like 14, 15, pay me a fat bag to do something. I would dread it every single time. But now like, now like my community is also feels like they're partners with them. The amount of stuff that we give away Feastables and JBLs and literally like poppies every single day from just watching me.
Yeah.
I saw your
feel like
JBL post yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, Kit went in the summer.
Yeah. That was
great partnership.
That was a funny one. That was an underwater shoot.
I like the red one too. So when you're 13, 14, these brands are approaching you, you hate it, you weren't really, I guess, ready for that? Or like, what age were you when you started like, what Darren's saying, like you started seeing it more as a business and like the opportunities? Like how long do you think you've been working with brands like in that way?
That's a great question. So I used to be on an org called Energy, and my content, like I didn't really care what brands I worked with. I just wanted to stream and play Fortnite. So I streamed for the people rather than like be authentic and not say dumb stuff. So I'd say honestly, when I met Darren and him, like he kind of transitioned my brain. That's when I realized that I could be authentic, I could stream, I could be myself, but I could also have that brand side that supports me and do what I want to do with my community. So that was a big thing.
I think that's a really important thing that you said is like, it was probably your audience too that was like calling you out for doing.
Oh yeah.
When you started doing the brand deals, they're probably like, oh, like, you sold yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
The kids are saying these days. So I think it's like, you almost have to like work with your audience too to like understand like, hey, this is where we're going as a team, right? Y'all are kind of like
it just needs to be authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, especially brands that try to just like come into content creators' lives and be like, oh, we need to do this and we need this out of you and that. It's like, no, it needs to be the opposite. Like the content creator needs to be like, okay, that's not going to work and this is what's actually going to work. And that's kind of what we do with every single thing that we do. We do JBL pop-up in New York City and we had thousands of people waiting at the door through it and we were 1v1ing people and I had 17,000 viewers doing basically a hashtag ad, which is never seen before. You get low viewers when you do like a paid brand deal. So having that like being authentic to your community and also the brand, it's like a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
I do think brands are getting better at it, but as more brands, gaming is obviously getting huge. So as more brands come into the space, that's one of the things that we're trying to kind of push and encourage is like, don't just come to them with like, hey, this is exactly what we want from you. Here's how you do it. Because one, I think people like you are going to say, no, I'm not going to work with you like that. And you don't want that. Like you want to go to them and say, hey, we're open to whatever you think feels right for your community.
You want to work more together.
Well, that's one of those interesting metrics you can look at is like, what's your concurrent viewership when you're just doing your thing?
Yeah.
And then what's your concurrent viewership of that sponsored ad?
Yeah.
And if it's always going to be a little less because it's just, that's the way it is. However, there's a certain threshold to where it's like when you're at 50% of your normal, it's not the creator's fault.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of the agencies and brands have to look themselves in the mirror to say, our performance of our campaign didn't work well, not because of the streamer, is because we deployed a poor campaign for the streamer to then create content around. So if you're less than 50% or like, and I also do the marketing stuff with brands too. It's like, that's a metric that we look at to make sure that the brand understands, hey, Clix just did this sponsored ad and he's averaging the same concurrent viewership that he did yesterday when he was just shooting the shit with his chat.
Yeah, which is wild.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's maximizing a creator's
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah, because to that point too, you have seen branded streams that do really well. Like because it's it's a good program. It's a good message.
It's fun.
like, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and those are probably the ones where the creators are working more with the brands instead of the brands like giving, here are your guidelines. Here's what you can say. Here's what you can't say, right? Obviously, every brand's going to come with guidelines and how you should talk about the brand. But I think a lot of the times they get a little too tight with the, you kind of have to let the creator be themselves.
Yeah, like wiggle room, for example.
Yeah.
Like what we did with Feasible is they asked me like, how do you want to launch this? And I was watching Severance at the moment and like binge watching it.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, why don't we just do a Severance scene as promoting that I'm signing with Feasibles? So I came up with the idea and we did me, Lacey, Marlon, and Faxity, 4 of the biggest streamers. We were all friends, right? And then Mr. Beast joined us and we had 20,000 viewers, and my Instagram post got 100,000 likes, which is insane for like a actually hashtag ad post.
You got to start saying 120,000 concurrent viewers.
Oh,
You screw up when you say that.
Yeah, concurrent, yeah.
You sell yourself short.
One time.
When you say I had like 20,000 people watching me, it's like, no, you had 20,000 people concurrently.
At the same time.
Which means throughout the stream, you had
so
almost over 1 million people watch the stream.
I never look at it like that.
Yeah, the word concurrent.
It means
that's got to be
like,
added to the vocabulary.
You're learning
like,
something.
if you're streaming for 4 hours and you have 120,000 people
Concurrently.
coming at like throughout the stream, that's one thing, great. But if there are 120,000 people at one time,
That's
then
crazy.
throughout the stream, there's probably way more.
Okay, well, if I ever said that, I meant concurrent.
Concurrent.
I never
Yeah,
talk
you
about.
always- you never
I
say
never look
concurrent.
at like
I
total.
know.
I don't even know.
I get pissed. I'm like, this man just said he had 20,000 people watching. I'm
You're like,
that's,
you're not selling yourself right.
yeah, that's
I
like
love this teaching moment right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
learn-
120,000
The more you
concurrent
know.
viewers.
I don't know how much millions that adds up to, but yeah, it was a really good stream, and we did it right. We did it absolutely great, And now they feel a part of it because they were on the launch stream, they were on the feed, they were like, so. And what we did also, which was great, we implemented chat the whole entire stream. So Jimmy, Mr. Beast, chose what to do from what the chat says. So they felt like literally fully a part of it, which is what you need as a brand and a creator, is just being so
that
authentic.
engagement.
Yeah.
Authentic. Yeah. I think too, in my history of like doing creator deals for brands, I like to do research on the creator, like, which we'll talk after this.
What a
podcast about an
mind-blowing
opportunity.
What a mind-blowing
like-
thought.
We
Like,
should know who we're talking.
Let's not just force this creator or stream into this personality, into this audience. Instead, like, hey, what are they interested in? Oh, I have a brand that could work for that. And now I'm going to go pitch that to the client, right? Because makes sense. Authenticity. I think authenticity is like such a, not overused because it should be authentic,
It's
but I
overused.
think
Sammy,
brands say we need to be
overused.
authentic a lot of the time.
but they don't know what that means.
Correct.
Yeah, I think it's like, oh, we just won't use the words noob. It's like, no, that's not like
Noob?
what authentic
Noob.
is. Like,
Noob.
Sorry,
it's
Sigma, skibbity.
Like-
It's what the
Okay,
kids say.
okay.
It's what the kids say.
no, because they're like, oh, noob is cringe, so that's not authentic. It's like, no, there's so much more that goes into authenticity. And I think this is a good segue into like from an authentic, which you kind of have talked about it, but I want to get more into the process of like, what was the favorite brand deal you've worked on? And then what was the process like, which you can help him with this too, of like from start to finish, like
Am I able to answer that?
timing, everything.
Like, I feel like
I think everything has had its
everyone
own-
has been my favorite in just different ways.
Yeah.
Like Poppy, my launch was a Super Bowl commercial, which was so sick, the sickest thing I've ever done.
With
Shout
Alex
out to Poppy.
Earl,
Yeah,
right?
with Alex, with Jake Shane, and then Noah Beck. Shout out to Noah. Like, actually, the kindest soul I've ever met. And then with Feasible is what I've been explaining was like, we just interacted with the chat the whole entire time. We had so many people watching, so much love. And then JBL, all we do is just inspire kids and give kids who can't afford headphones, my gaming headphones, and just do little meet and greets there, little meet and greet here, 1v1 kids here. It's just like they all had done such a great job on implementing myself with their brand. Where
In
it's
their
just
own
like,
way.
In their own way. So
Do you feel like you're like part of the process, or do you feel like you get a brief and then like, I think what I'm trying to get at is like a lot of brands in the back end when they're setting up a stream, they don't not necessarily understand, but they're not used to like this kind of work. And so they're like, oh, here's your guidelines. Here's the timeline. Like, I want to get into like the process of like a successful partnership.
'Cause I'm
with-
assuming it
in
starts-
your eyes.
with you.
Yeah. And so
Or do you bring
So I can touch on this
Darren
a little
was
bit.
on-
No, I mean
Speak on
it's I
both.
mean, and
It's like a
and
team.
it's getting better. I think it's leaving wiggle room. Like I would say, out of all of our clients, Bryce, who's our contact at Harman for JBL. Like Bryce is a huge fan of Clix, so he gets it. He gets his chat, he gets his community. He's a big advocate internally, which I think like, let's just talk about like the internal politics of brands and agencies, that you might have the person that's closest to the thing that's a huge advocate, but it's not up to them. They have to go sell someone else to get a budget, to sell their boss, to do the thing, the whatever. So like you need an internal advocate for gaming a lot, because an athlete says 6 words the entire month on one interview, and that's like all you get out of that athlete.
And
but you get all this cool
talking
content. He
all
talks
day.
for 7 hours every single day of every single week. So you have to like massage out the value that he offers and like not take it 30-second bit by 30-second bit. That would be like step 1. But then 2, from the creative process, it's getting a brief. But my first question is always, what do you want the outcome to be?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, now you get a brand talking about what they want at the end of the campaign, so that it's easier for me to then reverse engineer or then take to Cody like, hey, they want to do this thing. Here's what the outcome wants to be. Here's their idea. But as I would say, like, what's your feedback? Like, I want to take feedback to them. And I think what I'm also feeling too, which I'm starting to appreciate, is more people like yourself are more willing to be like receptive of it.
Yeah.
Where I remember maybe like 4 years ago when I would do this, it'd be like, nope, like
No, we're
the
not.
ink has dried.
Yeah.
Like,
This is what it is. Take
this
it or
is
leave
what
it.
it is.
Yeah.
And like, sure, we'll do that cut and we'll review it in post, and it never ends up on the actual like floor for the final content. But now it's like, oh, that's great. We actually love that idea. So now, I mean, every single client at agencies or brands, I mean, they're so receptive. So I'd say shout out to the people that are in these positions of power internally, that they're being receptive.
Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to the fam.
It's also fun too, I think, on your guys' side, when creators like a Clix is willing to get on the call.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times you get agents and managers that have a little bit of like an ego power trip. They want to feel like the smartest person in the room. They feel like they know it, whatever it might be. And then they take the idea the day before the stream to the creator, and the creator's like, what the?
Yeah, I've actually
don't
seen
wanna-
that live, like literally opening up the brief on stream that we've, put in front of them, and we're like,
Oh
oh,
my gosh, that was
Correct.
So we ended up making a meme out of it though, so it was funny, but it's also like, oh Lord.
yeah. So
But part of the industry piece to like be educated on is it's not always his fault.
no, I mean, again,
And like,
you're like,
I'm just not
front person.
front facing.
Yes.
But a lot of times, if he does a shitty job with a campaign, it's not his fault.
Right.
It's the manager, the agent, the videographer. Like, it's the people around him that haven't set him up for success.
yeah.
Yeah. Or honestly, it could be on the client. Like it's,
Correct.
like you're just the one saying it and doing it. And so it probably comes down on you, but there's like 90 people behind the scenes. Right. No, I love that. I think, and we've had the honor of all hanging out together a couple of times. There are a lot of personalities that do have egos. And so it's very like refreshing to know somebody that's like as kind-hearted as you. I've seen you meet like kids and just like light up their lives, and like you really do this for them. And so I think that's like one of the biggest appeals to you is like who you see online is who you are. You're not like,
that.
So keep doing what you're doing. It's great. And I think the right brands will continue to fall into place for that.
But for brands, like they don't, when he's shouting out usernames, Chickenfoot42, appreciate the sub. For a brand that isn't on Twitch, he's a huge fan.
Huge.
But the
Is
concept of that,
We just made that up.
I have no idea.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you got a
I'm
free
hungry.
plug.
Yeah. But the that's a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a kid.
That's a real person.
It's a real person. So it's this like concept of like these usernames that he's talking with, and has your brand that he's talking with. You see them that says W Poppy, WJBL, W Feast. These are real human beings that are living somewhere, and they're interacting with your brand live in front of this platform of entertainment. Like that's something that I still like. I don't think.
No.
Like take a moment and really think about that.
Because also, like, if you think about, okay, I'm going to throw a TV commercial on TV, like, you don't ever see in real life, like, the reaction of people.
Correct.
Or how they're probably, they're saying, oh, it got this many views, but that person was probably in the bathroom, the TV was on, or they're on their phone, and they're counting that as a view, right? Like, these are real people engaged. Like, when you see a chat fly like that, that's incredible. And like you said, I don't think brands really understand, like, those are real people commenting and wanting to engage with this person and watching this person live and actually like they're there engaging with it. And that's so valuable compared to just like putting something on,
And that's where we do the in-person, I think, like, even though it's exhausting, however, when you see 1,500 kids waiting to meet you, you're like humanizing Chickenfoot 42.
There he is.
There he is.
It is pretty crazy meeting like someone that's been watching you for 5 years. And just comes to a meet and greet. You're like, wow, you've really been like in my life since I was 13 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's so much more like, that's so much deeper, I think, than any other type of marketing.
That's what, and also the true like relationship and community, his community of people.
Yeah.
Like community is one of those like, let's toss it in the buzzword thing.
It's a family at the end of the day.
But they've grown up with them.
Yeah.
There's kids that are 20 now that started watching when he was 13, 14.
Yeah.
Where do you get that level of interaction?
I mean,
like,
the dude we were with an hour ago, he's been watching me since I was 200 viewers. So when I was 13 years old. And I just had lunch with him.
Yeah, and now he's 23 working at Prince Street Pizza and we're doing this Feastables thing. And he's like, yeah, I've been watching you since you were like just a little speaker on the internet. Yeah,
well, that's crazy.
Like,
well, hopefully as more, younger people get into the industry, that's where those, people in the background that are going to come and say, hey, we need Clix. I'm a fan of his. I'm going to bring him in and bring him along the process. Hopefully that starts to become more common. Yeah. Right.
I think too, you said it, like there's no other marketing that has engagement like that. Like that's the most rich engagement of like
that's right.
having a relationship with so many different people at the same time, but they like truly value you. Right. And I think, like the IRL meetups, like they're yes, exhausting, but I think it's such a big thing for brands to like be a part of or like host, because it means I think it means so much to most creators, but it means so much to the audience. And yes, community, like they rally, you have your community. And if brands are trying to build communities for themselves within this audience, it's smart to show up and support those communities in those ways. And I think that just goes way further than a social media post or like tag your friends to win this, right? So
and what I do is like I found out this like tricky thing that I basically have this bot where you write like a word, W Feastables, right? Or just Feastables. And if they type that word, it shows their name and they're in a giveaway. So what I do almost like probably like 3 times a week with all my 3 partners or even more partners than that, I like tell them like, all right, if you want a year of free Feastables, type W Feastables. Probably like 4,000 people just instantly type W Feastables, and then you can see their name pop up. So they feel like they're involved, right? And then you pick a winner. You pick like 5 winners, and then boom, you send them free Feastables for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I know.
But from the brand side, it's like, yeah, you ever won? Yeah. You're Chickenfoot 42.
I'm Chickenfoot 42. I was like, oh my God, how'd they know?
How'd they know? No, she's real.
But the idea of like top of mind awareness, which is like obviously like the super buzzwordy marketing term, it's like that level of 5-6 hours a day, 4 giveaways a week. You're typing in a brand name, like
sticks with you.
That's the level of like, that's the stickiness that you're wanting these new customers to be able to.
Well, and I think too, like you're talking about giveaways, that's not reinventing the wheel. Like, but that goes so far in this space of like giving free product or free whatever it is and really giving back to the community, dropping subs, whatever it is. Like sometimes people are overthinking, like how can our brand engage with you guys? At the end of the day, that doing something like that is pretty easy.
Yeah. We have giveaways and everything.
I mean, which is
even brands coming in dropping like 25 subs and saying some like not crazy stuff, but some funny stuff.
Like
just
that's it's super easy. You don't have to like rethink the wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, if Poppy or any brand, which they've done before, come in and drop 5 subs, $25, the whole chat will spam W Poppy for probably the next 2 minutes. Like it's so simple of just showing love to the creator while they're actually live.
The CPM is nuts if you're gifting subs.
We try to encourage that for any time we're doing any sort of thing, but it's important to like hear it from your side too.
I think brands too, like so many brands want to be the first to do something. Like that's what we hear a lot. Like, oh, we want to do something that's like uncharted, but brands want to drive buzz, right? And so I think we're in this battle of like, okay, yes, driving buzz is important for your company, but like if you're showing up in the gaming industry, you really need to show up for the community. And so like dropping subs, we push that a lot. And a lot of our clients are like, they
sure.
see the value for sure. But I think they're like, oh, well, everyone else is drop subs, right? But we just want to.
But that's the point. It's like the repetition. You need repetition, and you just need a standard level of engagement. And to your point, everybody always wants the flashy thing, and you're like, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But relax. Like you don't need to always do a flashy thing at every week.
And a lot of times, like I said, it's more like you get more engagement from the giveaway than you do from the flashy thing.
You always get more engagement from the giveaway because you got people like her jumping in the chat wanting free chocolate
chicken
bars.
foot.
Chicken foot, 42,
Chicken foot
don't
42.
forget it. No, I think we've talked about like a lot of things that brands can do, but I want to get in, we're getting close to time and I feel like we could talk for forever, but I want to talk about like kind of the negatives too. Like, has there been a brand deal that you can like specifically remember? Again, you do not have to say the brand that you walked away from. Like what determines a yes or a pass on a brand deal for you these days in your more experienced days?
If they're not, okay, if they don't know me, that's a big one. Like if they're just, there's so many deals that I've done when I was younger and like Darren, I used to always do one-offs, always just stream for 3 hours, get low viewership, and then the brand would be mad. I'm just like, it's a brand deal. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm playing this game that nobody's familiar with. They don't know me. They don't know how it works. They just blame it on me. But like creating a friendship kind of with the brand, kind of what I did with JBL. He's saying Bryce, like he watches me and he loves me, and like that, I appreciate that. And JBL works because I wear it and I like it. And brands just do that thing where what you guys were touching on earlier, they just want to throw a bag. So many brands that just have high marketing budget. They just throw bags at creators expecting it to work. Like Speed did this like $1 million brand deal on stream and it got so much hate. It was a crypto thing, which was obviously like can never go well, but it got so much hate. It was like canceled. The whole brand was canceled just off a stream being like, their Speed being like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So just like trying to avoid that all cases has definitely been.
Yeah, just understanding you and your audience.
And they have to like me. They have to like, I don't want people just wanting to pay me a bag if they don't know what I'm doing or like support it or want to be a part of it, you know?
Yeah. I do think a lot of times brands will pull together, here's our campaign and we're going to go to this many influencers and do the same thing. And I think what you're saying is like, it's not a one size fits all. You can't just give me something I'm not going to do the same thing that so-and-so who doesn't play Fortnite and doesn't stream like I do. Like it's not going to make sense to do the same thing for all of us. And I think that's one thing that we see a lot is that it's a single campaign with multiple influencers, so we're all going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I did this one campaign with some food brand and some food brand. Let me say how to promote it, right? And the conversion rate, like nobody ordered it, right? Because it's just like I wasn't doing anything I wanted to do. I was following literally what you guys were describing, a brief. It's just like I was doing it in the most authentic way I could possibly do it, and my chat was hyped. It was whatever, but nobody was converted, and they blamed it on me. They were like, "Wow, like they tried to not pay me what I was owed because of the conversion rate," which was just like that's not on me. Like you need to take self accountability of your mistake, because if I promise on everything I love, if I could have ran that campaign in the way that I wanted to do it, I by far 10x whatever conversion rate I had by just me doing it in the way that I think I'm ready.
Well, because you have your own like merch and products, so you have that as an example of like.
And one
usually,
of the things from like a negotiation process is like I always want longer term deals. Yeah. Not for us.
I was literally about to
them.
get to that. Yeah.
I mean that's this whole point of like someone this size. If you show up once and you just you're a flash in the pan as a brand. Yeah. And as we all know, the majority of the 15,000 concurrent people that watch Clix, a lot of them are also not on their phone ready to click the URL to purchase the thing. But if you show up
consistently
every week you're showing up, well, now when you are hungry or that need in which your service offers a solution for shows up, top of mind, you're thinking of the food brand or you're thinking for whatever the product is. So like a big thing is not doing a one-off deal and leaning into this idea of like show up more often in bite-sized chunks to then show up in a big way later. But then if you keep this relationship going, that's this point of like, we don't want to do anything that's less than 6 to 12 months. Not because we want more money out of it. It's like money is just an exchange of value. Yeah. We want more money because we're going to bring you more value. Stop looking at us as, I'm not asking for more, cutting less. Yeah. I'm asking for more and we'll do more.
Yeah. And it's going to be more successful in the long run. Yeah. Well, I think we should change the term authenticity to consistency. Like consistency to me is almost more important these days. I mean, okay, it is important to be authentic, but like showing up in a way with someone more often.
Understanding authenticity and being consistent. That's the new tagline. I think too, but what you're saying about like
hashtag
the CTR,
consistency.
The click-through rate for hopefully if you're a marketer, you know what that is. But I think brands like gaming is still kind of the wild, wild west to brands, and the type of like results that they can get is a lot different from what they've gotten for TV, for a social ad, or
It's more streamers, which I consider gaming as well. Like they have the craziest amount of like click rate, CTR, whatever word. But like we could really crank any brand just by doing it authentically, which like commercials you can't do. With actors, like celebrities are, in my opinion, less valuable than streamers. Like take me for example. I got to put myself in there, but a Castanet also, like he has more drive and more push than like I would say a lot of the top celebrities a lot of top rappers.
100%. I think, but what I was gonna say is like they're like gaming is relatively new to these brands, right? It's not, but like in the grand scheme of marketing, it's a newer channel, and a lot of them treat creators like
they would treat a
media
celebrity
channels, right? Or like,
but it's also one of the realms
outlets.
of just to like, because I talk about this a lot. Gaming is the form of entertainment that people are watching.
Right.
This is who you're dealing with.
Right. Yeah.
So I always say like gaming there's no difference.
Right.
It's the content that's being created happens to be a video game that people are watching.
Yeah.
But he could be a foodie.
Yeah.
He could be a beauty model influencer. Like the creator economy has been around.
You look beautiful.
He could be.
Me.
Thank you.
We're working on it. But the creator economy has been around for a long time. It's working with human beings that have some sort of niche content that they put out that has an audience and a community of people that like that content.
Right.
Just because it's gaming content, now all of a sudden everyone's eyes cross.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's the same thing.
Really
It's the same thing.
It's the exact
but
same
what
thing
I was
as you've
saying
always
is,
done.
like, they tend to treat these creator deals and stuff as
Differently.
typical media like media outlets, and that's not what you are. And so when we talk about building consistency and building long-term relationships, it's really important not only for the creator and their audience to start to understand the brand and get more familiar with it and like it. It's also the brand, you're building equity as well with a streamer as a partner. So now JBL, they see Clix or Cody and they think JBL, right? They're like, it starts to like build familiarity in the audience's mind. So it's really like, if you look at it as a long-term partnership, you're going to get success on either end.
Instead of just a media
channel.
So many people that watch me they literally buy JBL headsets just because I wear
Because,
So
every
does
single day.
Chickenfoot.
Compete with
So
it.
does Chickenfoot.
T-ball one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just really important for that kind of change to be made of like, instead of these like, oh, we want this person now.
But guess what? It's harder and it's more difficult
Oh, I know.
to do that.
Yeah.
So this is the whole topic of conversation. I think some people understand it. They just know it's way more difficult. And it's easier to blame someone else than take the accountability to say it's more difficult to do what you're saying, but the outcome is going to be more valuable, but it's going to take more time and effort for us to actually watch Twitch and understand what it is and how to work with these creators. But it's easier to just say, let's have one brief, send it to everybody. We have our total views, total impressions. We'll get our CPM, CPA, CPR, like we're good. And we'll just sit back and send our report in and say that it went up 3% from last year.
Exactly. We're working to overcome that.
Yeah.
I think
This is what we're doing here.
this is getting the conversation going. That's what we're trying to do, right? Just change the narrative a little bit.
But it's fun to humanize the person that you're putting the
100%.
content in front of.
No, I
That
think
again,
it's
it's not
gonna be
just a
really
media buy.
great for people to hear you talk from a business perspective too. I think we'll be in like marketing meetings and they're going to start saying, get the bag. I'm going to start hearing it because they're going to be watching this.
Is that what I said?
Yeah,
Get that bag.
It's good
Get
merch.
that bag. Yeah.
My bad.
What have you seen in a brand brief that you're like, oof?
I mean, the craziest thing is someone else's name,
Oh,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So that's the first red flag.
so make sure that you put Cody's name.
100% would be like, you can just know that they're just sharing it with lots
Copy
of
and
creators and
pasting, yeah.
copying and pasting things.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is, I don't even know.
That will kick things off on a note.
Yeah, it's just like just poor information.
Yeah.
Where it's like the wrong date of the stream, or like we've talked about something and we've came to that agreement, and then you open up the creator brief and it's the original thing. So it's just like attention to detail, because it's like, this is important because I'm going to give this over to the creator.
Yeah.
And if it's wrong and we go this direction, you're going to get pissed at me and we're going to get
Just treating it like we've said,
Correct.
a lot of things you can just like throw it out there and it's good to go. But with this, you have to be a little bit more intentional.
Yeah. And then it's just the length of briefs. You know, if you get past 6 pages, 5 pages, you get to a point where you're like, no one's reading that. So you have to like be really condensed briefs are the best to me, where it's just like,
Here are the
boom,
hot
boom,
points.
boom.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Because he's not going to be on stream flipping a PDF.
Yeah.
Right. So like what then happens is then we have to then take a 6-page brief and condense it down to like core bullet points, which is okay. However, red flags with a brief is like if you're sending me a formal proposal and saying that it's a brief,
Yeah.
you're already off on the wrong foot.
Yep.
Is there any you can add to that too? I just figured he looked at more of the briefs than you do.
Well, I don't look at briefs. I just asked,
Well, that's the point.
him or
No, that's not the.
But that's
how
one of
it
those
should
reasons of like a lot of people just get a brief, they read through a 6-page thing, it sounds like vanilla to them, and they get on stream, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So like what we always try to do is be able to read the brief.
I
and
tell
then
them to
put
write it in Cody language.
Yeah.
I
Cody
should have.
language.
So they write me like a paragraph in my words, so I understand it. So I don't need to know everything to do, but I just need to get
The
what
gist,
what to actually just say to an extent. I'll just carry away myself.
I'm gonna request that you start emailing us in Cody language,
language.
only.
Cody
'cause I'd
language
to see
only.
your take
Watch
on
out.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably won't even
Yeah,
understand it.
texting. You're
Much
very
messed up.
official via text.
We need
too,
the
so-
bag, Sam.
Yeah.
We need the bag.
You gotta get the bag. And then I think last thing, and maybe you have something too that we haven't asked, but
No, I'm good.
leaving this podcast, if all of these brands are listening to you, I think we've talked about understanding authenticity. We've talked about the, year-long partnerships, or not year-long, but like consistency, as opposed to one-off things. Is there and both of you are up for grabs on this one. So is there one thing or something that you wish brands understood aside from that, like in the gaming space, knowing that it's still new, they're kind of understanding it more and more, but is there something that sticks out to you? You're like, ugh, I just wish they would understand this. I know I kind of am putting you on the hot spot.
It might sound a little bit egotistical, but I don't think it will. It might come off. I think of realizing how important the shit that I do is when it comes to tournaments. I feel like a lot of people don't value my tournaments that I'm in. For example, we had 150,000 concurrent viewers on my grand finals that I got.
Look at that word.
I got third or second on. That is the amount of people that are watching.
That's insane.
And I'm telling these brands hey, I can't. I'm telling him I can't focus on this. I need to focus on this tournament coming up. And brands probably just, oh, he's just fucking doing whatever. They don't realize this is a terrible comparison, but it's not at the same time. An NBA playoff game, I feel like is the same vibe as a grand finals for me.
Esports doesn't have the same luxury that traditional pro sports have, where it's very normal for every brand to be before the playoff game, there's no brand reaching out to the agent being like, hey, can they go on Instagram live and promote this product and do this deliverable? They'd be like, F off.
Yeah.
Nobody would even ever say that because it sounds crazy.
It's the same with me.
But the concept would be hey, before this stream, we need this content captured and whatever.
Can you just do it real quick?
Yeah, can you just do it? Yeah. And it's no. And it's always a balance between oh yeah, we'll just get a gaming setup here in the corner.
We do that
I'll just drive,
much.
pick him up, drive him to his setup, do that for 20 minutes, and then drive him back to practice or wherever,
But you would never ask
But
that
it's
of a
true, it's
traditional.
Right.
Here, just wear these shoes on the court. You're like, what? No. I'm not just wearing these random basketball shoes to play in an NBA playoff game. So there's a lot of these things that I feel like a lot of brands don't get.
Yeah, I
But,
think
but also, he's unique.
Yeah, I mean, our brands, our
They
partners
start
get
to.
it though.
They get it.
Feastables, they set up
they
a
do their
whole entire
best.
setup for me.
Yeah.
The second I was done with the Feastables big announcement, I just walked over, switched my stream to tournament, and we won the tournament. And they had a whole double PC setup,
Yeah.
perfect internet, perfect everything. That's what you need.
Yeah.
But that's part of also from a creator side, which I don't think brands are thinking about also, is also that level of problem solving.
Yeah.
We get it. We're going to do our best or whatever. Well, that makes you want to
Work with them.
do more with them.
even more
Now
than what
when they're asking you to go a little above and beyond, you'd be like, yeah, they went above and beyond and literally created an entire setup for me and did all this crazy stuff for me. The built-in equity with you then translates to built-in equity with your audience. But that relationship that you have with the brand is important.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that stuff. Or they could have built a jerry-rig thing in the corner and you'd have been like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would have affected your relationship with Feastables as a brand.
Yeah. And I think too, because, seeing an NBA athlete or a football player, that you've always kind of grown up knowing that they have all this fame and big followings. And now you guys, creators have massive followings, but I think brands aren't able to like visually see
Correct.
that, right? And so they don't understand that like, hey, actually you're bigger than a ton of athletes. Like
They need
you're
to go
reaching,
to a.
you know,
An esports thing, yeah.
If they go
that's
to,
what I'm saying.
if they
I
go to
love
Paris.
getting,
I'm competing in 2 months in Paris. There's gonna be like 10 to 20,000 people live sitting in chairs. Every single marketing person that's watching right now would understand how big gaming actually is. 'Cause
well,
it's
FNCS
intense.
is
But even
in
from a
Dallas
following
next year
base.
too. Get some clients
Yeah.
out there to watch you. No, but I think it's like if they just go see that. I mean, we have brought a lot of clients to even TwitchCon. Like the
Having
we've gone to
clients being in the
esports
rivals
tournaments.
arena, they're like, whoa, they're so excited about this. That's all that it took was like get them in a real space. They finally are like, oh, this is real.
Yeah, it's the energy, like engagement in person is crazy. Like the level of like
The in-person makes the
hype and
digital
excitement
way
it's
more
like,
accessible.
When you actually like visually see it, it's a lot. I think you understand it a lot more.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, get out to a gaming event. Call myself. We'll get you tickets. We'll go anywhere in the country or out
Call
of the country.
us. We will go to We'll go to Paris.
We're going to
We need to
France,
go.
When is it?
It's September 4th.
I think we need to be there.
Soon.
We're competing for like. Then we're competing for 2 mil, 3 mil, no 3 mil
Cash.
Oh my God.
cash.
You've been grinding.
10 hours a day. I've been
God.
grinding.
Anyways.
It's been insane.
All right. That was great. I feel like
That's
we
cool.
could talk for
Yeah, we
hours
could.
and hours, but we really appreciate you both being here.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
This
Thank
is
you for having us.
You're welcome.
a good start in like breaking the barrier. So
Yeah.
thank you for doing this. We did not give him the bag for this. So
I got paid
appreciate
$100
it.
for this. I'm joking.
Darren,
For legal
Couple water
reasons.
bottles.
I'm gonna get you some animal crackers and
That's all I need.
some
Taking care
All
of
right,
this.
you'll have to
gummy
high five
sweets.
at the
Yeah,
end.
we both. So we say, "All right, thanks, bye," and we high five. So y'all have to high five because
That's off this boat.
This?
That's
Yeah, that's fine.
no, high five is way better.
This is our
No.
way.
That's
All
fine.
right,
Let them do
well,
it.
I'm not going to change the way the creator wants to do it.
Exactly.
Hear that? See?
You're the issue.
Authenticity.
Authenticity. You're the issue.
I'm joking. I'm joking, my bad.
No, I'm chicken foot.
All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.